live hangout vid. So before we get started, we're gonna have a lot of things to chop up here. So let's see what we got. Let's see. Check my sound levels are good. Let me make sure of that. That's not it. Let's see. All right, guys, let me check my levels. I think I sound good. Let me just check on the other end. All right, looks like we sound good. Yo, what's up, Joe host? What's going on? What's going on, brother? What's going on? So, okay, guys, do me a favor. As soon as you guys come in, please do me a favor. Hit the like button on the description box. So, show the love, man. I really appreciate that, guys. I really do. So let's chop it up real quickly. All right, I won't be on here too long because I have to get to an event, friend's birthday party. I promised that I'll be there for her. So call her a sister. So she's like my big sister to me. So don't get to hang out with my friends that often these days. You know, the married life and work. You know, and other stuff, other activities. It keep you occupied, but it is what it is. But let's chop it up real quickly. Let's go get through these fight reviews from last night. A very, very, very good night for boxing, I must say. A lot of laughs. Am I an old man now? No. I mean, at this point, man, when you're in your mid-30s, man, you do feel like you're getting close to your late 30s, like I am. It's you starting to feel that way, bro. I mean, I don't feel old, but yeah, but I'm old. Hey, 1 second, guys. Hold on. Let me just take a brief break for a second. The wife is calling me. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Let's resume this hangout as scheduled. Yeah, well, as I was saying, Joe host, nah, man, you know, it's life, man. You know, when you make a transition, things change. You transition a new job. I'm more of an advanced management role now, where I'll be overseeing a lot of things. So it's a lot of work, man, outside the boxing realm. So I'll be doing this still. Hopefully, I don't get my time limited, but I might be limiting my days on YouTube here because of that. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll try to be consistent as the best way I can while here because boxing. I love boxing. I've followed the sport for many years, ever since I was a little toddler. So let's get into it real quick. Let's get down to the fights. Let's start with the first fight. I forgot to put on here on the title because obviously I don't have enough room to include it. But the fight that I wanted to cover real quickly is Flanagan versus Hooker. Sean Ramshan. What's up, Sean? Are you a consultant or a business manager? Yeah, I'm a sales manager. Yeah, I'm a sales manager. So I oversee a team of employees and team of sales consultants, whatnot, and we focus on the retail aspect of it. So I'm actually the district sales manager in a way. Yeah, I'm a district sales manager. And we focus on wireless products from the vendors that we're contracted with on the company I work for. But yeah. So so basically Crawford versus before I get to Crawford-Horn, let's get to Flanagan versus Hooker. Now, again, before that fight came about, I didn't highly rate Terry Flanagan or Maurice Hooker. I don't speak highly of those fighters. I'm sure they're good guys outside of the boxing realm, but skill-wise, they're not that good between the two of them. But if I were to choose a winner, I was going to go with Flanagan because Flanagan was a champion. He was a little bit more experienced than Hooker. whatnot. And of course, it was in his backyard. You have to take that into account that this fight was held in his backyard for the vacant 140-pound title. And I was going to favor him to win it by decision. I wasn't going to, of course, I didn't see him going to knock out Hooker because, I mean, Flanagan's not known of him. It's not known to be a knockout artist. And I don't believe that he has respectable power at 140, to be honest with you. And as the fight did transpire, and from the looks of it, I could say it was a very filthy fight to start off with, without all that initiating of the wrestling and the holding and the head butts. I mean, deliberate head butts that was initiated by Flanagan. I mean, wow, that was filthy. But credit to Hooker though, because he didn't complain to the referee about all that was happening. He was fighting fire with fire. He was trying to fight back and try to wrestle Flanagan, and he did, and utilized his range and picked him off whenever Flanagan tried to rush in with his head, which is, I think, persuaded the judges to give him the decision of the fight, which was a rightful decision. And I picked Flanagan to win it, but Hooker showed a lot of heart. He showed a lot of composure. He showed a lot of poise. Well, same thing. And I felt that, he was a rightful decision, rightful winner. I scored it 8-3, 8 rounds for Hooker, 3 for Flanagan, and 1 round even between the two. As the judges scored it, it was a split decision, and I can't see how one judge scored it 117-111 for Flanagan. I mean, what fight was that judge watching? I mean, obviously that was a phone cooking right there, because there's no way in hell Flanagan won 9 rounds. Now, you could stretch it for 4 rounds, yes, but I thought he won at least 3 rounds in my card, at least 3. I felt Hooker was the better man. He utilized his reach a lot better. He picked off his shots. He picked off Flanagan whenever he came in. I thought he had a better punch output than Flanagan. And all credit to Flanagan, he had some good body work in the inside, but I didn't think it really disrupted Hooker at all. Hooker on one card, one judge scored at 115-113, another judge scored at 117-111, which I thought that was a little too wide, but yeah, you may want to stretch it out, but I thought Hooker was a rightful winner. Rightful winner, no robbery. I can't see how anyone said that Flanagan got robbed. No, he lost that fight. He, in my book, clearly lost that fight. It was a comfortable win for Hooker, but to me, I just don't see. I mean, it was a tough fight, but again, I just don't see how Flanagan won it. But props to him. But on to the main event, which was a strange outing. The return of the quote-unquote real heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury, going up against Fury-Seferi, a cruiserweight coming up. Obviously, where do I start? Clown show, 4 rounds, Seferi quit. His corner retired him, and which is very bizarre in a way because Seferi wasn't really remotely hurt. Yeah, bro, fuck that Fury fight. Yeah, I hear you, Joe host. But let's be fair. It was his comeback fight. Let's cut him some slack. But the one thing that was a clown show was surprising to me is that Fury dropped so much weight, and then he weighed in at 276, which he was clearly out of shape, which was his career heaviest. And to be fair, though, he did drop a lot of weight. He did out of the ring, out of his his last fight almost 3 years ago against Vladimir Klitschko. He weighed as much as 320 pounds, and he dropped 70 pounds, 60 to 70 pounds, so which is a very, very significant improvement. But based off what we've seen, when the 4 rounds where that fight lasted, which was a clown show, I mean, Fury looked very lethargic, looked a lot, very, very rusty in that ring, which was expected. But to be fair, though, he started to gain his sharpness back, and in rounds 3 and 4, he started to pick off Seferi with some uppercuts and some counter rights when Seferi tried to lunge in against him, and that was like the only hope that he had because Fury was trying to take chances and lunge in against him. I mean, because the guy, he looked like a midget compared to Fury. I mean, that was just awful. I mean, it was just an awful fight. Like I said, I'm not going to crap on Fury too much. I mean, it was just a comeback fight. I mean, that was expected when this fight was announced and the selection of opponent. But, I don't know. It's a strange, odd thing about this is that there was a brawl that broke out in the middle of the fight, too, in the arena. It was a crowd of 20,000 there. It was a brawl that broke out, which is very typical from a Frank Warren event. I've noticed that this is always happens in some of his events, particularly in Billy Joe Saunders fights, where there's a brawl, there's a fight that be breaking out in the stands and the bleachers. I don't know what's going on with that. You don't see much of that in the Eddie Hearn fights, but a lot more so in the Frank Warren fights. But I don't recall Seferi landing one punch in that fight against Fury. Not one. Not one punch at all. I don't see where again, yeah, if there was a punch that he landed in one of the rounds, please let me know. I didn't see it. Joho says that he needs another 2 fights before he gets into the top 10 for anyone. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that, Joho. Let's talk about that, because there was after the fight, you know, Fury's now calling out Wilder. He's calling Joshua. He's calling Parker. He said, quote unquote, that those 3 fighters are shit, just like Seferi are. Well, to be fair, Tyson, you look like shit in your last fight against Seferi. Now again, not to knock him. It is his comeback fight after 3 years out of the ring. He is going to be rusty, yeah. But, dude, let's be realistic. At this condition, you ain't going to last against Wilder. You're not going to last against Joshua. You're certainly not going to last against Parker. No, you're not going to. Those 3 guys will beat you right now. I'm talking to Tyson Fury. They would beat him at this point. There's just no way he would last against those 2 guys at this point. Those 3 guys, no way in hell. Hell, he wouldn't even last against Povetkin. All right. Now, the rumor mill is the word from the grapevine is that they might be looking into setting a fight with David Price. Now, as bad as David Price's chin is, and you know he's at the very end of his career, I don't see Tyson Fury beat David Price at this point. I really don't see it. To be honest with you, I really don't see it at all. Now, as far as Tony Bellew, no, stay away from Tony Bellew, because Tony Bellew will beat Tyson Fury at this point, and I can see why Tony Bellew wants that fight. I can see why. Now, as far as you know, him getting any of those cracking those top 6 guys, he's going to need at least 1 or 2 more fights. I agree with you, Joe. He's going to at least need 2 more tune-ups before he takes a shot at those guys. He really needs it. Yeah, Joe says Fury's asking for a death wish. He probably is. He probably is. I mean, he's running his mouth to gain attention, but let's be realistic. He ain't fighting those guys anytime soon. If he is, then he's crazy. But if he's going to do that, he's going to have to get in better shape. He's going to have to shed off at least 30 pounds. He needs to get back into the fight shape that he was when he fought Klitschko. So, yeah, if he stands a chance against either 3 of those guys, or even 4 of those guys I mentioned, Povetkin, Wilder, Joshua, and Parker, yeah, I don't see him beating those 4 guys. Or even, again, David Price at this point. Or Tony Bellew, 5 of them, I should say. So, yeah. So that's how I'm going to speak on that. Now, the other fight that happened on the Showtime card, we had Jermell Charlo versus Austin Trout. Wasn't a very exciting fight, but again, it wasn't a bad fight. Charlo knocked down Trout in 2 rounds. The 3rd round, which he really hurt Trout, and Trout was able to come back and use his, found his sharpness and use his elusiveness, I should say, to trouble Charlo. What's going on, Dwayne? What's going on, man? Yeah, I won't be on here too long because I have to get to an outing pretty soon. So we'll see what's going on from there. But Charlo knocked down Trout in the 3rd round. He knocked him down in the 10th, which was a questionable knockdown. To me, it looked a little legit because he did knock him on the temple. But you could say it was a borderline back of the head. It was a borderline shot on the back of the head, but it wasn't severe. But I think it was a legit shot. But Charlo didn't look that good, and obviously he was disappointed in his performance, because I think in his mind he was trying to one-up Jarrett Hurd, because Jarrett Hurd is the only guy that stands right now that was able to stop Austin Trout. Other fighters like his brother Jamal couldn't stop Trout. They've all had tough times with him. Miguel Cotto he beat Miguel Cotto, obviously Austin Trout. Canelo Alvarez had a tough time against him, even though he knocked him down that fight. But regardless of what the scorecard says, man, yeah, Trout, some people felt Trout won that fight, despite the knockdown. I thought he won that fight, but it is what it is. So, yeah, he was disappointed. And, of course, Jarrett Hurd took it to Twitter, and he took it to social media, and he was like, well, I'm not impressed by that performance, so you don't scare me, Charlo. I don't care what you say. You don't scare me at all. So just take it from paraphrasing what he was saying. But yeah, I think he was just so focused trying to one up on Trout. On Trout, he was trying so hard to do it, but apparently he just couldn't at all. But in all fairness, at least Jamel Charlo can say that, hey, at least I knocked the guy down. You could knock him down. You stopped him. You made him quit. But I guess making him quit is much better than knocking him down and taking him to the distance. So, which is true. Which is Jared Hurd can make an argument against. So, yeah, I mean, but the one thing I would say though, this was a bizarre scoring on the fight card because the fight was a majority decision, which I'm kind of raising my eyebrows and scratching my head, figuring out how could it be a majority decision. Many argued that Charlo was a clear winner here. Okay, I scored the fight 116 to 110. If you include the 2 knockdowns from take the 2 knockdowns away from 2 points, in other words, away from Trout. Okay, so I gave him 4 rounds. You could stretch it to 5, but the fact is, one judge scored at 118 and 108, which I think that was way too wide in my liking for Charlo. As far as the other score, you have another score which was one. Let me see, what was it? 116, 110, I believe. One judge had it, and then one judge had it. That was for Charlo, by the way. And then another judge had it 113 to 113, a draw. I'm trying to figure out here how did this judge take 2 points away from Jamel Charlo? And in other words, and how did he score? How did he not take away 2 points away from Trout? I don't understand how he could have scored it that way. So I'm very, very, very shocked by that score. That was very, very odd right there. But it is what it is, man. But I mean, the Rifleman got the decision, but I just have to point that out. That was bizarre scoring right there. Really, really, really bizarre. Anyways, the main event was Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Mares. I mean, what can I say? I mean, the second fight, the rematch, which some people argue was not really warranted, lived up to expectations. It was a damn good fight, just like the first fight. It was a repeat. Santa Cruz was rightful winner. I scored an 8 round support for Santa Cruz. Abner Mares felt he got the short end of the stick. I can understand that he may feel that way, but he clearly lost that fight because he, during the mid rounds, Santa Cruz pretty much swept the mid rounds. I mean, the first rounds you can argue Abner Mares won it, but Santa Cruz found his range. He started to pick off Mares when he was coming inside. All fairness of Mares knew that he couldn't win the fight from the outside against Santa Cruz, so he had to take chances. So that was the only way he could try to close the gap, but it was too little too late for him. Very good fight. 1,000 punches thrown, almost 1,000 punches thrown like it was in the last fight. It was a repeat. Abner Mares called out Leo Santa Cruz for a third fight. I don't know. People might want to see it again, but I can tell you one thing. Staples Centers was lit for that fight. It was lit just like it was for the first one because obviously Santa Cruz and Mares are big draws. Now, but speaking of Staples Center crowd, they were very, very restless when it came to the Charlo and Trout fight. I guess that bothered Jamel Charlo because he was trying so hard to knock the guy out. But again, he was thinking too much. He was trying to one up on Jared Hurd because obviously that's a very good unification class at 154 that everyone's looking forward to. Now, to me, I would still favor Charlo to win it, but those chances have kind of decreased a little bit slightly, in my opinion, slightly. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Now let's move on to the top rank main event between Terrence Crawford versus Jeff Horn, the WBO welterweight title. I must say, in my post-fight vid, I was proven wrong in one case, is that I thought Jeff Horn was going to be much tougher than that. I thought he was going to actually bully Crawford around because of his size and his strength. But looking at that fight, it looked like Terrence Crawford was the one who was bullying Jeff Horn. He looked like he was a much stronger guy in there. And he was picking off Horn every time Horn was trying to lunge in recklessly against him. And all I gotta say is that the dude beat Jeff Horn up badly from the first round to the end when the referee Robert Byrd stopped the fight at the 9th. I mean, justifiable stoppage. I mean, Jeff Horn was getting beat up badly, severely getting beat up. I mean,
A knockdown in the ninth, and then then Crawford finished him off. And we all know Crawford is a very, very fantastic finisher. I know some people are arguing that, Terence Crawford has reclaimed his pound for pound number one status. Maybe. In all fairness, maybe I would have Lomachenko still rated above him right now, because Lomachenko did go up to 135 and beat the number one guy. Even though Lomachenko he struggled in that fight, we cannot get it twisted. He did struggle against Linares. He got put on his ass against him, but he came back and stopped him. But I still would give him the edge as far as pound for pound number one over Crawford right now. The only thing I would give Crawford back the number one pound for pound status if he beats Sean Porter, if he beats Danny Garcia, if he beats Errol Spence. Let's just say not beat those guys consecutively. What I'm saying, if he beats one of those guys and unifies with one of them, or Keith Thurman, then yeah, I could see why he'll be number one. And the reason why I took Bud away from the pound for pound status way, because he wasn't active. That was my thing about him. He wasn't active. He was out the ring for nearly a year. Be 10 months to be exact. But other than that, so Mike, what's going on, Mike? Mike for Pound Boxing Report. He says, look, I knew when Horn in his camp was complaining throughout the week and didn't initially make the weight, you knew Horn was in trouble. Yeah, when he didn't make the weight, that was a sign of trouble right there. He needed to do it in 2 attempts. And we all knew that Jeff Horn struggled to make that weight initially. There was ramblings that he was struggling to make the weight for the Pacquiao fight. So Horn is a very, very huge welterweight. There was talks about him going up to light middleweight anyway. But if he tries to make his campaign up there, I don't see him doing well up there. No way in hell. I don't see it at all. Mike says that Bud reclaimed his pound for pound number one status. In my opinion, he never lost it. If you can make an argument, so be it. He is a 3-weight champion. He's a 2-time lineal champion, a 2-time ring champion, if you want to count that. Undisputed champion, essentially cleaned out 140. So, yeah, you can make that argument there. While Lomachenko, he moved up in between the weights in less than 13 pro fights, won 3 titles, captured a ring title, which is somewhat a fraction of a lineal title. So, there's an argument can be made. You can say they're both tied pound for pound number one. Like I said, Crawford has took less damage than Lomachenko has it, but Lomachenko has a loss on his record, a loss that he hasn't avenged. I know we're in the business of what you've done for me lately, but still, though, like I said, I can see the argument. But my thing with Crawford is that he wasn't active. That's the reason why I took him out of that ranking momentarily. So that was my problem with him. Now, again, Lomachenko has a loss. He got beaten up against Orlando Salido. Let's not discredit that he did. He took some shots against Jorge Linares. Even got knocked down in that fight, and some had Linares up in that fight before the stoppage. So again, I'm divided. I'm gonna lean towards Lomachenko still, but yeah, I can see where you guys can make the argument that Bud is still pound for pound number one. Because people thought he was going to struggle against Horn, and I thought he was. And like I said, I thought he was going to win the fight. I picked him to win it, but I didn't expect him to make it that easy. I really didn't do that. Just like I didn't expect him to make it easy against Julius Ndongo, even though that fight only lasted 3 rounds. I didn't expect him to make it look easy against Victor Postol, nor against Felix Diaz. So these are fights that people thought he was going to struggle against, and yet he made those guys look like novice. And yet, when he does that to guys like that, even against Gamboa, even though Gamboa won the first 3 rounds in that fight, people want to take credit away from him and try to discredit his opponents that he beat. So, can't do that, especially with with the Jeff Horn thing. You cannot take credit away from the fact that he bagged the guy, as many people did, like myself, didn't think that was going to happen, but it happened. Joe says that I just heard that Horn wants a rematch with Bud. Yeah. Well, I think his handlers hinted at Dean Longren, who's actually now his promoter in Australia, which the other portion of Duco events. They hinted it, but nah, they better stay away from Bud. Stay away from him, because Jeff Horn, I just don't see. He landed maybe 1 or 2, 3, maybe a few good shots in that fight against Crawford, but it didn't really just disrupt Crawford, disorient him at all. So No, no. And now we're talking about Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. All I gotta say is that bring it on. After that performance, if I'm Earl Spence's camp, I'll be very, very worried. I'm sorry, very worried. If a guy as strong as Jeff Horn is a very strong dude, believe it or not, very strong welterweight. If Jeff Horn wasn't able to outmuscle Crawford, what makes you think that Earl Spence can do it? I'm not saying he can't, but he could do it. But Earl Spence is not as quick on his feet as as Crawford. You know, he is. He's a good body puncher, but Crawford is going to find a way to counter that. He's got too many weapons. And Errol Spence, I don't know, man. I'm favoring Crawford to win that fight. I'm being very serious. I can only see Spence winning it if he can beat him down to the body. That's it. Beat him down to the body to pick his shots up upstairs against Spence. But other than that, nah, I just don't see it happening, man. I'm just being real. And I like Errol Spence, but I just see Crawford picking him apart. I really see it. I just see it. I mean, Danny Garcia, oh yeah, that I'm definitely favoring Crawford against him. Sean Porter, maybe tougher fight, because Porter is a big fucking welterweight himself. But if Porter actually won Crawford too, so let's get it twisted. He just called out to get Crawford, and Crawford said, "I'll take the challenge." So I think he may have a much tougher time with Porter than anyone else. Keith Thurman, yeah, I'm going to favor Crawford to beat Thurman because Thurman's been way too inactive. Now I've been hearing that his comeback fight has now been called off too. So again, so I don't know. And Thurman's been out of shape as well. So I'm favoring Crawford to beat Thurman. I favor him to beat all the top welterweights. Garcia, I think he's going to have a much tougher time with Porter. I think he's going to have a very good. He's going to have a tough time with Spence too, but I'm favoring him to beat Spence, and I think he shouldn't have too much time with Thurman. I'm gonna just keep it real. Yeah, the way he did to Jeff Horn, he put the welterweight division on notice, and I will be very, very cautious. What's up with Errol Spence? I haven't heard Errol Spence say anything after that fight. Let me know if Errol Spence said something after that Crawford fight against Jeff Horn. I want to hear what he had to say because I didn't hear him say anything, So, yeah, Mr. Doc says, yeah, I think Crawford's that dude. That's a special talent. Oh, yeah, man. Unbelievable talent. He not only can fight orthodox, he can fight southpaw. I think he's far more dangerous as a southpaw. Here's Crawford. Far more dangerous. And yeah, he's dangerous as an orthodox fighter, too. The dude's got too many fucking weapons, man. His power carried that 147 as well. So, what does that tell you? Oh my God. Yeah, Errol Spence team. Yeah, I think they're going to keep away from Crawford for a while. I don't think they're going to want that fight. Not at this moment. No. And me, I'm calling for that fight to be made as soon as possible. Make that fight happen now. Okay. I know we all talk about it Wilder and Joshua, but we got to talk about this one. This fight's got to happen now. After Errol Spence gets past his mandatory, make that unification bout. Yeah, Mr. Doc says that Spence is going to get that work. Oh, yeah. He's going to get that work. I think he's going to get that work. I think he's going to be tough in the first few rounds, but Crawford's going to figure it out. He's going to figure it out, and he's going to pick Spence apart. He's going to pick him apart. Crawford's got those long-ass arms, too. That's another thing. He's got the reach. The height, I think they're the same height. But again, it's just the weapons. And Crawford knows he may not be able to outmuscle Spence, but he's going to find other ways to beat him. He's got too many weapons. He's got too many tools. Joho says, I hate to say it, but I don't think Spence wants that fight right now. I agree. I just don't think he wants it because let me look at Errol Spence's tweet, man, because I don't think he said anything about Terrence Crawford after that fight, man. Let me look at it right now. Let me see. Let me see what he said. Because I'm going to see what he says right here. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I had a little bit of trouble here. Let me see. Let's see. Errol Spence. All right, so 2 days ago, he said I would have stopped Horn. Well, Chance Crawford did stop Jeff Horn. So Errol Spence hasn't said anything. Let me see. He hasn't said. Let me see. Okay. Oh, he did say that he predicted a Horn to get stopped. That was 2 days ago. But he hasn't said anything about that Terence Crawford performance. I'm looking at his Twitter right now, so I'm wondering what's going on with that. Why is he keeping quiet now, man? Don't twist my words, people. I'm not saying he's ducking. I'm saying that why is he quiet? Why is he quiet right now? I don't understand. Let me see. Spence put up I'm looking at you magnifying glass emoji in reaction to Crawford's win. I think Spence Crawford's a 50-50 fight. 60-40 fight. No, I think it's 60-40, to be honest with you, Mike. I think it's a 60-40 fight right now. I'm favoring Crawford to win it by 60-40. At first I said 55-45 Crawford, but now it's gone up to 60-45. 60-40, I'm sorry. Alexander Mayweather, what's going on, bro? We're doing good, man. We're doing good. Mr. Doc says that Mike, yeah, that's a great fight regardless who wins. Who it is on one favorites to win. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a great fight either way, man. It's gonna be a great fight. Oh, he did put up an emoji glass. Okay, so he did react to it. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so he did respond because I didn't see it on his Twitter, but I was going to look at his on his Instagram page and see if he reacted there. Let's see if he reacted there on Instagram. Let's take a look. Let's see. That's 1 day ago. Mike, I don't see it, dude. Did he put an emoji glass and I'm looking at a magnifying glass? Because I don't see it. Where did he post that? I don't see it at all. All right, if he did, I'll take your word for it, Mike. If he did, he did. But I don't know, man. I'm still favoring Crawford to win it. Low Play says that Crawford only looked good against after Horn gassed out. Horn isn't even half of what Spence is. Well, I mean, hey, if you think he gassed out, well, Jeff Horn gassed out because he was taking a beating. He gassed out because he was taking a beating, bro. I mean, if you take too many shots in the head, that's going to gas you out. It's not just up here trying to wind out. It's not about trying to wind out, trying to take your opponent out. You also get gassed out by taking a punishment, and that's what happened. He was taking punishment, bro. So of course that's going to gas you out. Let me see. Joe says it was like in his third tweet 19 hours ago. Okay, I'm looking at his tweet. I don't know. Let me look at it again, man. Let me look at it again. Like I said, I'll take you guys' word for it, but I'll look at it again. I just don't see it. But okay, fair enough. I'll take your word for it. But let me see. Alexander Mayweather says that Crawford beat Horn that badly for the Aborigines. Oh man, here we go. I don't know about that one, man. Let me see. Low Play says, look, he gassed out because he stepped on the scale 3 times. Man had no win after 5 rounds, and he had 4 good rounds. Wait, hold up. Low Place, did you score 80 rounds for Jeff Horn? How'd you score the fight? Because I am begging to see this. How'd you score the fight? He's been having weight issues the last 2 fights. Horn gassed out from health. Well, I mean, look, sir. Well, let's put it this way. Tony W had weight issues at light heavyweight, but I've never seen him had any stamina issues at light heavyweight. I mean, he was compromised due to the weight drain due to the strength. Yeah, but I didn't see him gassed out due to stamina at light heavyweight. So I don't know about that, man. Let me see. Mala, what's going on, Mala? Mala says that Crawford took Horn to school. He looked levels above him. It's that simple. Yeah, exactly, Mala. Plain and simple. This is some bullshit. I know Joe's reacting Low Place. Our whole chat at least had 2-2 4 rounds. I had a 3-1 Horn after 4. Wait, hold up. You actually had Horn winning the fight after 4 rounds? Are you serious? I mean, if you want to give Horn at least 1 round, if you want to stretch it out to 2, maybe. But no, I didn't give him 1 round of that fight at all. I didn't give him 1 round. I mean, Horn just got beat the fuck up throughout the whole fight. I'm sorry, the first round to the end, he did. Mr. Doc says that low place, you just mad because one of your fighters is going to get slapped around by Crawford. Dan, I sent you a Spence tweet via. Okay, cool, man. I'll take a look at it. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Lo, you trolling. Yeah. Lo, I mean, come on, man. Are you seriously had Horn winning that fight up to 4 rounds? I mean, you're the only one who says that, man. Even the diehard Jeff Horn fans would admit that he wasn't winning that fight from the beginning to the end. Come on, Lo. Are you serious? Oh, man, come on. I know you don't like Crawford, man, but come on. Give credit what credit is due, brother. Please. Are you worried that your boy Spence is going to get that work? All right. Okay. Fair enough. You called it. So what we doing with Crawford after this win? Here's what I want. He needs to get that unification for Earl Spence. I think that fight needs to happen right now. I don't want to wait. It's got to happen now. When Spence gets past Ocampo, get that fight done. Again, I have to repeat myself. If we're talking about Wilder and Joshua, then we need to talk about this one. That needs to be made. Okay? I don't want to hear no excuses from the Spence camp. I don't want to hear no excuses from the Crawford camp either. Let's be fair. But let's be honest, in my opinion, the Spence camp is probably going to be worried about that performance more so than Crawford. More so, in my opinion. They're going to be worried about that performance because this guy's got too many weapons. It's going to be they're going to need more time to study Crawford and study his weaknesses. They're going to need more time to figure him out because no one's been able to solve this puzzle as of right now. No one. I was in the chat. I got that fight close after 4 rounds as Horn was making Crawford work from 5th round on. Bud put a beating on Horn. I don't know, Mike. I didn't see it that way. I really didn't see it that way, to be honest with you. Look, I know Horn was working a little bit in the first 4 rounds, yeah, but I thought he was getting picked off easily by Crawford. He was trying to lunge in against him. When he was tied up in the ropes, when he was tied up in the clinches, Bud was getting off his uppercuts where Horn wasn't seeing him coming. And that's what really got him disrupted. That made him very cautious, too, after that. He couldn't figure out Crawford at all after that. That's just my take on it. I doubt that happens. Too much stuff in the way. Yeah, it's going to be some obstacles, but it just got to happen, man. We can't have this. We can't have this fight being put off as long as they could, man. It's just got to happen. Yeah, Crawford, Spence, and then Porter versus Garcia, then the winner's fight. Yeah, I agree. Horn might have won the 2nd round, but that was it. That's all I saw. Yeah, that's probably the closest round you could say, but I still edged the Crawford, man. Yeah, all right, I'll send you a link, but I ain't going to be home that long, brother. I'm going to be off in 15 minutes. Bruh, did you see what Spence did to Peterson? Horn was punking Crawford at times. Wait a minute, hold up. Peterson was fucking hitting Spence with some monstrous shots, bro. Did you see that? Yes, Spence wasn't hurt by those shots, but he was getting hit. Just like he was getting hit against Kell Brook, remember? So come on, bro. Come on, hello. All right, I'll send the link. Hold on. Horn didn't win shit. He got serious beat down, and you think the ref was stopping it. Oh, man. Wait, hold up. Who said that Terrence Crawford is a limited fighter? Who said that? Who said that? Oh, okay. I'm about to say. Yeah, Latsies, I agree. Yes, Peterson was hitting Spence with some shots. And here's the thing about Errol Spence. Errol Spence keeps himself extremely wide open when he's throwing his body punches. He needs to work on that defense, and that's his major fault. He gets hit, bro. He clearly gets hit. He was getting tired in the Kell Brook fight in the first half, and then Errol Spence will start to beat him down with the body shots. I'll give him credit for that. But let's be real. Peterson was throwing behind the back of the head and still got nothing done. He only threw a couple of club shots, man. That was all I seen. He wasn't deliberately throwing the back of the head. Come on, dude. Let me see. Peterson was thrown behind the head and still got nothing done. Horn had Crawford holding early and often, bro. No, Horn was trying to lunge in, and then he was holding on to Crawford, and Crawford was sneaking into them shots. That's what was happening. And then when Horn couldn't figure that out, he couldn't fight him in the inside. He couldn't get his punches together. That's when he started to back off against Crawford. He couldn't figure out how to bully him. He just couldn't do it. He thought he was going to out-muscle him. He's going to out, he was going to outsize him, and he was going to out-bully him like he did Pacquiao. But no. Crawford is a naturally stronger dude compared to Pacquiao, and he showed his power. He showed his strength in his his toughness at 147. That right there would surprise Horn, and Horn couldn't figure it out. Spence is as stiff as a Russian fighter, but would give him that work. Yeah, I wouldn't say Spence is stiff, but he is a bit stationary sometimes. He is a bit stationary. Crawford was keeping Horn from headbutting and elbowing. Yeah, that was for one. Yeah, he was doing that. That fight showed how shot Pacquiao is now and how strong Bud is. Well, let's be honest here, dog. Alexander Mayweather. A lot of people didn't even give Horn a chance to beat a over-the-hill shot Manny Pacquiao. I didn't even give him a shot of beating Pacquiao, and he proved me wrong. Let's give Jeff Horn credit for that. All right, look, man. Like I said, don't discredit Terence Crawford, bro. He got the win. He beat a champion, so he is taking 147 at notice. And I don't see any of those fighters beating him at this point. They will give him a tough time, some of them, a couple of them. But Danny Garcia, hell no. I don't see his fault. Garcia's kept making that fight. Sean Porter, yeah, that'd be a tough fight. Let me see. Bud annihilated Jeff Horn. The code cracker and adjusted the jab to any style. Yeah, he can. Derek Williams, what's going on, Derek? Absolutely. He can figure you out real quickly. He can. So let me go ahead and send a link. I'll be on for 10 more minutes, guys. Let me just chop it up real quickly because I got to go after this. Let me see. Let me just post this link. Give me 1 second. Why can I do it here? Oh, okay. I can do it this way. Let's see if we can get in this way. Let's see. Let's go to the chat. Let me see. You supposed to tie up fighters like Horn on the inside, or you going to end up getting headbutt or elbow. Yeah, that's true, Mr. Doc. That's what's going to happen. I mean, that's what Stevenson did to Badu Jack, trying to tie him up because he was trying to prevent his punches from prevent Jack from throwing his shots in the inside. That's what Stevenson did. Oh man, the irony of this. Before I get into that, before we finish off the before we continue the talk between Crawford and Spence, I gotta say one thing. I want to say a couple more things. All right, Abel Sanchez came out and made some comments again, and Abel Sanchez continues to get more ridiculous than I ever seen him. But I know this is Mr. Doc's cup of tea right here when it comes to this conversation. Now, he said that if Canelo Alvarez thinks that he's going to move up to 140, 168, that he's running away from my guy. He's running away from us. Well, the irony of that comment is, one, okay, fair enough. Okay, let's give Abel Sanchez some, let's be reasonable here. If Canelo Alvarez is talking about 168, then you can say he's running away from the rematch with Gennady Golovkin. Fair enough. But the irony of that comment is that, wait a minute, hold on. How could you say that where your fighter, Gennady Golovkin, has ducked a few fighters himself? I mean, didn't you guys duck the Andre Ward fight? I mean, didn't you guys duck the Erislandy Lara fight? Did you duck your mandatory recently and Sergey Deverchenko? Yes, that is a duck. I don't care how anybody slices or dices it. If you refuse to fight your mandatory, that is a duck. End of story. I don't care. Plain and simple. That is what it is, bro. Okay. So the fact is that you can't say one fighter is avoiding you, yet your fighter has avoided several other fighters. I mean, didn't you avoid Carl Froch at a light heavyweight catchweight fight? Yes, fairness. Carl Froch didn't want that fight at 168 because he was at the end of his career. He was looking for one big payday. But Crawford did change his mind and said, okay. He talked to Von Loeffler on camera. What's going on, 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 2, 9, sisters? I'm doing good. So did Crawford said, I will fight your fighter if he agrees to a catchweight at light heavyweight because I can't make 168 anymore. Tom Loeffler shut that down immediately, said, no, that's not going to happen. So there you go. So let's be fair here. Now, Golovkin's team is looking to more likely to vacate that WBC title from what I've been hearing. I hope that doesn't happen. Okay. So, and another thing I'm hearing is that some people are comparing this situation to Marvin Hagler's situation. Okay. Again, I'm going to be reasonable. Fair enough. When Marvin Hagler beat John Mugabe, yes, he had some issues with the sanctioned bodies, particularly with the WBA and the IBF, because what had happened after the Mugabe fight, he was looking for one more fight, and he was going to call it a career. He was looking for Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, when Sugar Ray Leonard had agreed to come out of retirement and face Hagler, or there was talks about him fighting Donald Curry, who was the undisputed welterweight champion at the time, the WBA and the IBF refused to sanction those fights. Well, the WBA was a little bit of a different situation because the WBA had told were going to strip Hagler because they warned him and say, look, you haven't fought a WBA sanctioned fighter over a year. That's your obligation. If you don't do that, we're going to strip you. And that's what happened. They stripped him because he didn't fight a WBA sanctioned fighter for over a year. Now, as far as the IBF is concerned, the IBF was not going to sanction his fight against Sugar Ray Leonard. So they warned him that. And the IBF mandatory at the time was Harold Graham, I believe. Was Harold Graham the IBF mandatory, or was it was he the WBA mandatory? I don't know. But whoever the mandatory was at the time, the IBF warned him. And what do you know? Deja vu. They told him, if you take that fight, we're not going to sanction it, and we're going to strip you. Same situation with Golovkin with the Martirosyan. However, the IBF was going to be a little lenient with him and say, okay, we'll allow you to fight Martirosyan, but you got to give us a commitment that you're going to fight our fighter, Sergey Deverchenko, the next fight. Golovkin refused to do it. So I can understand those bit of parallels there. But as far as the career is concerned, Marvin Hagler already proved himself already. He already cleaned out his division. He already beat two undisputed he beat, before he fought Roberto Duran, he beat two undisputed champions, and Alan Minter and Vito Formo. And he beat Sugar Ray Seals, Olympic gold medals. He beat Benny Briscoe, a tough middleweight who beat Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Did I mention Alan Minter? Yeah, Alan Minter. Beat Duran, beat Albert Myers. All great, all very good champions at the time. Fought Duran for his biggest payday at the time. Great lightweight, undisputed lightweight champion. One universally recognized as greatest lightweight of all time. Beat him. Beat Hearns. Who's one of the greatest fighters of all time. We all know that, Tommy Hearns. Knocked him out for another big payday. It did continue his career from that point. Hagler fought his mandatories after those big payday fights. He fought his mandatories, and he defended his undisputed crown. Golovkin, on the other hand, gave up one of his belts. He hasn't even come close to what Hagler's done. So those are the differences right there. Hasn't even come close. So those are differences right now. And something about Bernard Hopkins came up. I don't know why this came up. I don't know how you can make this comparison, because Bernard Hopkins, after he beat Trinidad, he went to defend his undisputed crown against mandatories. When he fought De La Hoya, he fought another mandatory in Howard Eastman after that. He still continued his career. And of course, he had the setbacks with Jermaine Taylor. So I don't see how you can make that comparison. You can't. It's plain and simple. Again, with the Marvin Hagler situation, yeah, I can see the similarities there. I will be fair. But let's take it to a broader context. Hagler said he was pretty much at the end of his career. Of course, we all speculate Golovkin is too. But Hagler already proved himself more so than Golovkin. He defended all his titles. He fought all the mandatories he could fight at that time. He beat great fighters. He had Hall of Fame wins. He had pound for pound wins. He beat several, let me see how many undisputed champions he's beaten. He's beaten 3 undisputed champions. So before he fought Leonard, I should say. So you could say he was, people say he had nothing left to prove at that point. Golovkin still got more to prove compared to Hagler. He does. So let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send you guys the chat on the link, and I'm going to get off here. Let me see. Who is in the chat? All right, let's look at the group. Hold on. All right, let's bring this gang in here. Chop it up pretty quickly, then I'm gone. I don't know. Why that link ain't working, huh? Let's try it this way. Let me know if that link works. If not, I'm going to try another way. Let's see why in the world this one ain't working here on this side. Come on. Come on. Why you having technical difficulties? Let me know if that link works. Better yet, let me try it this way. All right. All right, what happened? All right, just hit the link. All right, let's try it this way. All right, try that one. All right, try that one. Try this one. All right, cool. I got him. All right, Black Latin Seas, I got you, brother. Try it here. Try this one. Let's see if it works. Because we're gonna have, so we'll make it real quick because I gotta jet out of here, guys. So if you want to have a quick Crawford and Spence debate, we can have it, but it's gonna have to be very quick.
Yo,
there we go. It worked. What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, man, that fight, man. I wish Jeff was in better shape. I think we would have saw a better fight. He shouldn't be at welterweight no more. This is the second time. I think he missed it the last fight he had with Cochran. He had to get back on the scales again. That kills him. He looked bad in that fight too. He needs to get away from welterweight. He's living on that Pacquiao fight, but he gotta go. He gotta go. He can't do that no more. He couldn't even fight for 5 rounds. He tried his hardest though, but they rightfully stopped that fight.
Right. But my question to you is how did you give him 4 rounds of that fight? How did you have him win 4 rounds?
I gave him 3 rounds. I gave him
3 rounds. 3 rounds, okay.
Everybody on our chat after the 4th had it 2-2 or 3-1. And I was the one that had it 3-1 for Horn. I thought he was bringing a great amount of pressure, landing big wide hooks that Crawford didn't see coming. He was just, he was bossing the ring to me. And Crawford, like I didn't like some of the holding, and there was a lot of it. I was calling it early, and then when he stopped doing it, I gave him credit. But I know at the same time, Jeff Horn wasn't the same fighter after 4 or 5 rounds. He was done. He was just done. He was done.
Let's be fair,
it wasn't
though.
the same one that Pacquiao fought.
Let's be fair, though.
Did you not notice the specificity of what Crawford was doing in the clinches? How he positioned his head, how he was putting his gloves either between his head and Horn's head or in the elbow, so he couldn't use the elbow in the face. Do you understand? And you understand that if you don't do those things, you end up getting. I'll say it many times. You know what I'm going to say. You end up getting what Berto got against Porter if you don't do that.
Same with a headlock. Some people just headlock you, so you can't do it. But I get it.
No.
There was other times.
What Crawford did was way more skillful than what we're talking about.
Other times, Crawford was just holding him around his back. It was. I mean, I've seen 3 times in less than 20 seconds. I'm saying, Crawford claws that clinch.
That's not my point, Low Place. My point is when you fight a fighter,
I hear your point.
When you fight a fighter like Jeff Horn, you cannot go in there and go, okay, I'm not going to do any holding. You're going to get broken up and busted up.
Keith Thurman didn't do it with Porter. He went in there and fought that shit out.
No. Hold on. No, Thurman was clinching against Porter. What fight were you watching, bro?
That was a war.
He was
Thurman was on the ropes. Keith Thurman said, "Okay, I'm on the ropes."
Yeah, he was on the ropes.
He tucked his elbows and he was letting them work.
No, he was on the ropes. I agree with you to an extent right there, but at the same time, Thurman was clinching himself. He had some fair share of his clinches in that fight as well. So.
Thurman was not being a brawn, nowhere near it. I couldn't believe what I was. At first, I thought to myself, you're right. At some points, I'm like, yo, he finna be a brawn, and he just sitting on the ropes taking it. Next thing you know, he just start fighting. I said, yo, I respect Keith Thurman so much because a lot of these guys being there tying up, they be killing the action, and people call him great fighters.
This is what Stevenson did to Jack, tied him up.
Hang on. I got a question. Honest question. Yeah. Am I the only one that remembers people being, even people that thought that Thurman won, being critical of his performance against Porter for being on the ropes, holding, at one point running from the body shot, etc. I remember all those criticisms. I'm not saying anyone specific. I just remember hearing those things. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, rather see that than somebody stopping the action. You know, that a hold stops the action. It gets you away from that moment where you might have to run from a body shot. And when
you're evading my point,
when you do it 3 times in 20 seconds, I can't help what nobody hated on Thurman for doing right. If they hate on good matches, they retarded. You think Leo Santa Cruz-Mares didn't have a headbutt in there every now and then?
No. What I'm getting at is, probably unintentionally, what you're implying is that fighters should, when they fight guys like Porter, they should be like Berto and not, and not do anything to prevent that shit.
You can get your head off the line yourself. Like, you can do that. Thurman found a way to do it.
Bud was doing that a lot of times. When Horn would fall in, he would make sure, if you watch, and I know you know what I'm talking about, he'd make sure his head was he made sure his head was right next to Horn's. You understand?
I'm talking about the first 4 rounds. I saw a lot of holding, and I think Horn tired out from it.
I'm not debating whether holding happened.
Okay, well, that's just my point. I'm not debating you either. I'm just saying my point. My point.
I agree holding happened. My question is the nature.
Let Mr. Doc finish. Let Mr. Doc finish. Go ahead, Mr. Doc.
I'm not arguing. I agree the holding happened. What I'm semi-debating with you is, it's not all holding is created equal.
Right.
Not all. I'm telling you what.
You know what I mean? There were certain times where Horn would fall in, and Bud tied him up, but the way he tied him up prevented Horn from headbutting him, elbowing him, etc. All right, exactly all the things Berto didn't do when he fought Porter. And again, that's all I'm saying is, I don't think you're doing it intentionally, but you're kind of implying that, like, when you fight a roughhouse fighter, you're supposed to just take it on the chin like Berto and get fucked up.
No. You got what size ring did they have in there? Like, really, honestly, what size? That was a Shaq foot size ring. Break the range, counter. That's what you can do. Like, you said,
he did.
It's just later in the fight.
You said
let Mr. Doc. You said let Doc finish. Then I start talking. You jump in.
It's free for all, brother. It's free for all, bro.
It's free for all.
You're not addressing the point. You're not addressing the point. It's all
okay. Like, I'm not debating you. I'm making my own point. You're making yourself too important. I'm not here to debate you. I'm here to make my own point.
Oh, okay. What's your point, man? That's all. So I can keep up. I'm not mad at that.
Crawford had a 40 by 40 up in that joint. All you had to do was break the range. Like, look, he didn't, and he held Jeff Horn and stopped him from working in the first 4 rounds. And I think that took his stamina. It zapped him. He's already a guy that's out of shape, and then Crawford took advantage of it. I'm not very impressed with that.
I got to raise my hand and ask you an honest question, little place.
Not impressed with that.
Hang on. How come you don't give Horn any credit whatsoever for forcing Crawford to have to make sure he doesn't get headbutted?
I'm giving Horn credit for fighting his heart out for 4 rounds, but I'm not giving him credit for not coming.
No. I'm asking you a very specific question is all, to make a point.
I don't see the specifics in the question. I'm giving him credit for fighting his heart out for a round. He rough Terrence Crawford. He exposed him a bit. He exposed Terrence Crawford.
Okay, look. If you want to say the fact that Horn was able to fall in is somehow exposing him, that's one thing. But what I want to talk about is what was he supposed to do when Horn fell in?
Like
No,
I said, break the range.
Let me finish.
Break the range.
Let me finish. Was he supposed to just take the elbows and the headbutts like Porter?
I didn't.
Or
He
like
was coming
Berto
with
did?
right hands
Or
when
was
he
he supposed to
leads
have
in
a
with
fight?
right hands.
Oh, can you answer the question, bro?
No,
Is
he led in with
how
right
supposed to do
hands.
that?
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna
By
buy in. The
definition,
Horn was falling in with elbows. He was not doing it. He was leading
because
with right
he wasn't
hands
allowed to.
and
Because he
left
wasn't allowed.
hooks.
No, he's leading with his
He
head
was
a lot of
leading
times.
with right hands and left
He
hooks.
fell
He
in
was
with his head
landing
countless
several
times.
of them.
Wait, hold on, Mr. Doc.
And
Let T finish. Let me fair. Let him finish, and then you counter back. Go ahead.
He lead with right hands. He lead with left hooks, and he landed several of them. Terrence Crawford, he picked the ring size. His promoter picked this big old ring.
None of which is what I'm talking about. That's not. That's all. That's all of that is outside.
Break the range. You don't have. I don't have to give nobody no excuse. You ain't being
Oh,
fouled by
okay,
this
okay.
man.
Whoa.
You're not
So,
being hit in the dick.
Stop
You're
right
not
there.
being hit in the dick
No,
by
no,
him.
no, wait.
Stop holding him. Fight him like a man.
I have a question.
That was
I have a clarify something for me here, okay? So what you're saying is, no matter what, right? If Horn manages to fall in on you, then you've done something wrong, and it's on you.
Horn he cut the distance. If you can't break the range, that's your problem, and you're holding him. All right, that's your problem.
Okay, now wait. Now again, just to be clear, I'm not saying you're saying this, but just to be clear. So when you say that you're not able to break the range, that's your problem. Does that mean that's your problem? Take it like Berto did.
Berto should have got his head off the line. He should have broke the range as well.
Okay.
I'm not making excuses. You didn't hear what I just said. You didn't hear what I just said.
No.
You didn't hear what I just said.
I said it.
Berto should have broke the range as well. He's not getting a pass. That's what you do.
Dude, we go hard. I respect you though, right? Come on, calm down.
What I'm saying, Berto should have broke the range, just like I'm saying.
No. We're past that. You said that if it happens that they're not able to break the range, it's on them. Now I want you to clarify that part. That's all.
Yeah. Especially when right hands are landing and left hooks are landing when he gets in there. That's on you.
Hang on, low place. So we've gotten to the point where they suck. They weren't able to break the range. What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to take the headbutts like Berto did, or are they supposed to try to tie him up and avoid it?
They're supposed to get called holder. They're supposed to be saying you're holding after. Maybe after you do it. Maybe after you do it 3 times in less than 20 seconds, you should be getting called a holder.
No, you're jumping ahead now. That's a separate.
Yeah, I am. I'm very.
No, Mr. Doc. Go ahead, finish, Mr. Doc. Let him finish. Go ahead, Mr. Doc.
You're jumping ahead. That's not my question. I'm asking you if you're in the corner of the guy that's in that situation. Okay, fuck you wasn't able to break range. Whatever. What is it you want him to do? Do you want him to take it like Berto or tie the guy up in such a way he don't get elbowed?
Of course, if I'm playing a figure of father or coach, of course. Tie up, please. Yeah, but I'm playing fan and fair fan and all that. And I'm saying, yo, that was not interesting to me, and that was not fair to the other fighter. That was taking away the work he wanted to do on you. And Robert Byrd kind of did nothing about it for 4 rounds, and it helped tie that.
I think I might have it in. I'm not trying to pin you down. I'm just trying to clear it up. So I think what you're saying is, as a fan, you'd prefer him to take it like Berto in that situation.
Mute yourself low. Well, let's see. I mean,
I apologize if I didn't articulate what I was trying to say there properly. But
it's okay. No need to apology. No problem. I probably jumped in.
Do you get what I was trying to say?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just the fact that, look, I understand.
I'm not mad. I don't know if that's his opinion. Yeah. Cool. I'm just trying to clarify what it is he's getting at. Because I was thinking in terms of like, dude, if that's my fighter, I don't want him to get messed up like Berto. You know what I mean? I'd be pissed.
Right. And here's the thing too. Look, holding is a part of the sport of boxing. You know, it's been like that for many centuries.
It's not all equal. It's not equal.
There's a difference of holding excessively without doing anything, and there's a difference of holding when you're hurt. Okay? If you're seriously hurt and you have a guy who's coming at you trying to headbutt you, elbow you, you're gonna have to wrestle him in the inside, tie him up, and then get your shots off. That's allowed sometimes under the referee's discretion.
Remember that Ali Frazier fight we did, right? We did the hangout on. There was all kinds of quote unquote holding, but how many times did the ref even have to get to them? to get him to break. They broke on their own. Why? Because what they were doing was they weren't just holding. They were, I call it making a boxing move because, you know, the NFL thing, a football move, right? I kind of just think of it that way. If they clinch and they make a boxing move, in other words, they turn them, they're making sure they're not getting hit, but there's, you know what I mean, a point to it or whatever. I can live with that. It's the Vladimir Klitschko lay on him like he's a mattress. Look at the referee. Hey, come over, separate this shit. You know what I mean?
That's totally different. The difference is you're holding it, you're leaning your guy in the back of his
neck.
You're holding his neck. I mean, you're not taking shots off. You're trying to spend his energy. Then, you know, that right there.
And like Beats mentioned the other day, rightfully, at the time, the second Ali Frazier fight, right? Ali got all kinds of flack in the press afterwards, right? For holding excessively, quote unquote, right? If you watch that fight today, though, not only is it like, this is excessive holding, right? You know what I mean? Especially when you're thinking about heavyweights, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's also, the pace is insane. It's like, but it's funny how at times, like you said, you know, the standards change and evolve. Which is normal. I'm not, you know, it is what it is. Sorry, I'm rambling all over, bro.
No, it's all good. You make some good point, man. But like
I was hoping Lovelace was going to jump back in. I guess I wasn't. Like I said, I'm not trying to pin him down on nothing. I'm just trying.
No. It just you know, just get. I understand that he doesn't like holding because to his eyes he thinks it's a bit excessive, but sometimes you have to.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is fair. That is true. But sometimes you have to. Yeah, that is fair. But sometimes you have to look at it from another perspective of what type of holding is it. Like with Crawford, he was trying to prevent the guy from elbowing him and headbutting him.
Yep. And a lot of times he got out of the clinch either by shoving him out or turning him or whatever before the
turning him and slipping his uppercut to the inside, just like Andre Ward used to do when guys just wrap him up. I mean, that's very sneaky when Crawford was doing it to the Horn.
There you go. If you know, people that don't are, you know, you haven't thought of it this way, like a simple rule of thumb is do they, you know, start to separate before the ref even gets there one way or another.
Right.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Usually that means I can live with whatever they were doing. Right.
But the fact is though, now that fight's out the way. I know. Hold on for a second. But the fact is now that fight's out the way. Just real quickly, guys, because like I said, I'm about to get off pretty soon, real quick. So the fact is that now that fight's out the way, then we have Crawford versus Spence. How do you see that?
I've said all along, I think Spence is too slow. I know it may sound simplistic, too slow in the pivots. And Crawford is exactly the kind of fighter. I mean, his game planning is meticulous.
It is.
I mean, literally, it was like he watched every single elbow and headbutt that Horn had thrown in his life. You know what I mean? Because he literally, if you watch it, you know what I mean? Every time they got into a clinch, the elbows were accounted for, the head was accounted for, you know what I mean?
Right.
Whether he was putting it right next to it, you know what I mean? So they can't do anything, or putting his glove in there. It was, you know, like you said, the game planning in every way was just meticulous.
It was, and it seems like Crawford is a student at the game. He's always studying his opponents. And me, if I'm the Spence camp, I'm going to look at that fight very cautiously. I mean,
but you know what? Hey, there to be full credit to Spence, because from what I hear, he wants it too.
I think he wants it. I think he wants it, but I think his team may not want it right now because they probably don't think it'd be the right time to take it. I'm not saying it's ducking. Don't get people want to misconstrue my words. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they're probably going to take their time with Crawford like the other opponent. But if they do get that unification out right after the Ocampo fight, I'll give them my hats off to them. They got it done, you know?
Hey, I watched a shit ton of boxing, but you know what? I never bet on it for a reason. I'm not pretending like I'm, you know, Jimmy the Greek or none of that, right?
Jimmy the Greek.
You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
I'm not no odds maker. I'm just to me, I favor Crawford. I think Spence is just too slow in the pivots, but more importantly, I've said this for a long time now. Just like I've been on that goddamn Tommy boy, who's lucky you don't have time for me to go into that.
No.
Anyways, I've been saying it all along. I suspect, you know, I'm very careful about these things. I suspect Crawford is a transcendent talent. I'm talking like a Roberto Duran once every few generations. You know what I mean? You don't see that guy for a couple generation cycles. I mean, when I say that, of fighters that come and go. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I suspect he's that kind of talent. If he's able to beat Spence, especially if he's able to beat him convincingly, to me that cements that he's got that kind of talent.
Exactly.
If people want to argue about the resume, okay, fair enough. That to me, that's a separate argument, right?
Well, to me, Crawford has a better resume than Errol Spence.
No. But I'm saying if people want to argue about, well, maybe he needs to do more resume-wise to be a true ATG, cool, fine. But to me, the Spence fight proves to me he's a transcendent talent.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Now, the question is, I think it's going to be my last question before I head off here. The question is, does this put him back on the pound-for-pound one status? Most people say yes. He's reclaimed pound-for-pound number one after his win. What do you think?
I'm kind of, you know what I mean, laid back about my approach to pound for pound. It's interesting to me, nonetheless. Yeah. What I would say to people is, hey, you come to me. You need to come to me with a good argument. I'm not going to say there isn't one out there. You know what I mean? But I want them to come to me with a good argument after that, man. Because in the words of Gil Clancy, it wasn't just that he beat Horn, dude. I'm telling you, he handled him like a baby. You know what I mean? Everything was accounted for. He couldn't do nothing to him.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Mr. Dark, I got one last question before we go. Since we are, I did mention Gennady Golovkin briefly, but I'm hearing this little ramble. I want you to get your thoughts on this one. Some people who are defending Golovkin for being, let's say defending him for not fighting Deverchenko, his IBF mandatory, right? They're saying, well, if he's going to vacate his belt to go out for a big money fight, shouldn't you guys criticize Marvin Hagler for the same thing with Leonard?
No. I'm already all over that shit. I was in the chat section. No. Okay. Big goddamn difference right here. All right. Motherfucker, if whatever. Hagler got stripped, guess what? For fighting Mugabe. All right? Are you trying to compare that to fucking Vanes? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
They had to get stripped.
No, I know. Mugabe came up for, I don't give a crap if Mugabe came up for 26. I'm just, I'm using, you know what I mean? Hyperbole.
Well, actually, Mugabe was the mandatory. He was a unified mandatory. So
my basic point is Mugabe beat the ever shit out of Vanes. All right. I don't even want to hear people try to compare Vanes to especially 2 years off to Mugabe. All right.
Right.
and you know what I mean? So he was cashing out with a Mugabe fight. Followed by whoever was going to be the biggest money maker. All right,
the Sugar Ray Leonard. And the fact is,
I didn't know this. I'm the first one to. I no problem admitting when I didn't know something. I didn't know Hagler got stripped of anything.
Right.
So did he get stripped before the Leonard fight?
No. Well, he did. This is what happened after the Mugabe fight. That was a mandatory fight. After the Mugabe fight, that was the mandatory fight that Hagler had to take to defend his crowns, right? After he beat Mugabe.
Was it 2 or 3 at the time?
It was 3 titles. He had the Lineal, the Ring, and the Alphabet titles. He defended them all.
The WBA,
after that fight,
so no IBF yet, right?
It was IBF. Yeah, he had the IBF crown. He won that in the vacant fashion against.
So
he won it in a vacant fight against in a vacant fashion against Wilfred Sifon. And the fact is, after that Mugabe fight, Hagler said that he needs one more fight and he's done. He even said, I'm looking for one more fight, I'm done. And that's when the sanctioning bodies got on his ass, the WBA and the IBF. The IBF told, when Leonard was going to come back, make his comeback and take the fight against Marvin Hagler, the IBF said that we're not sanctioning that fight because Leonard's not ranked. We're not doing that. So they stripped him because of that.
Okay. Now listen. Let me. This is what I'm hearing. This is just the way I view things. The way my brain breaks it down. All right. See what's happening. So in this equation here, guys, really, Sugar Ray Leonard was in the position of Vanes in the equation.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
All right.
I was getting to that.
Now, never mind Mugabe. Comparing Mugabe to Vanes. Don't anybody dare. All right, put Sugar Ray Leonard in the same book as no goddamn Vanes.
Exactly. You can't do that. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard, a multi-division champion, a gold medalist, a pound-for-pound best fighter. I mean, what the fuck? Seriously? That's what I was going to get into. You can't compare that situation. Again, there are a few similarities. I get that, to be fair. But this is nowhere near to what Gennady Golovkin still got more to prove compared to what Hagler had done prior to that Leonard fight.
Right.
It's like it's like, see, people look at bare facts and they don't look at the full picture, or even a part of the full picture. They'll be like, oh, he chased Sugar Ray Leonard forever. When I say, oh, wasted all that time, with Canelo. The difference is, look what, like you just said, look what Hagler got done while he was trying to chase Leonard for all those years.
Exactly.
All right.
His stories out the way. He defended his titles against Hearns, guys like Hearns, Hamsho, Siphon, Mugabe. I mean, come on, seriously.
Not only he didn't just stay active. He fucking was fighting Hearns, you know what I mean? Guys like that.
Dangerous fights like Hearns. I mean,
yes.
He was chasing Leonard for 5 years. Since '82, he was chasing that dude. I mean, come on, man.
And meanwhile, my guy, right, chasing Canelo around and getting nothing done. Suddenly, literally being told by fishnets, no, you're my hoe. You're going to do what I say.
Yeah. But it is what it is. But hey, Mr. Doc, I'm about to wrap this up, man.
I apologize. I know I should know better, man, because I should have your back better than that, bro. I know the situation. What's understood doesn't need to be discussed.
That's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good.
I appreciate you having me on, bro. And hopefully we can get some more time and we get one of them old schools in or something.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. In fact, we're gonna have to hit you up this week. We're gonna get in some old school hangouts, man, because we got to get that chopped that up.
And low place, we know you hate. We know you hate old school, but you are welcome.
Yeah, he is welcome too, Low, if he's still on. But I know he's on mute. But the fact is that you're welcome on too. But let me go ahead and wrap this up, guys. I'd like to thank the chat. I want to thank the panel. I know you guys had to come on briefly, but I got to get going to the event. Mr. Doc, as always, Low Place, as always, even though we agree to disagree.
That's why I enjoy debating with Low Place. You know what I mean? I really do. I
agree, man. I agree. It's always a pleasure. This is a pretty good hangout, even though it's pretty short. Mike from Pound for Pound Boxing Report. It's a pleasure. Black Latin Seas. Joe Host. 1224529. Alexander Mayweather. Who else in there? Mr. Alvo. Let me see who else. Oh, Mike at the end says that all the folks who trolling that with that kind of comparison with Hagler and Triple G, that's asinine. With that situation where we're just spoken of. But
Wait, wouldn't it become so difficult for fans of fighters? Look, man, it's another conversation we were having the other day. Like about Low Place was there. Oh, there he goes. So he knew where I was going. But anyways, about ATGs and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And I was, I'm like, dude, Muhammad Ali's my favorite fighter. I think he has a really great resume. But I have no trouble. I'll let you go, bro.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
I have no trouble conceding. Like guys like Sam Langford, I ain't trying to screw with that.
Me neither. But anyways, guys, I'd like to thank you again, brother. I know Low Place just left, and I want to thank the chat. So again, I got to get going. We are out. Peace.
Yeah, peace, man. Take care.
You too. Take care, brother.